welcome along to the Invincible podcast with Lee Judges and, of course, Julian. Is that Julian over there?
It is me.
Is that Julian? Hey, you're looking slim, bro.
Well, that's what happens when you don't eat for 11 days.
That diet thing is working for you, man.
Yeah, it is working, and it was definitely needed, and it was inspired by you. So I have to say,
yeah, he's doing the detox, right? Which is a 2-week detox, which I did before a couple of years ago, which is I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy to do. What day are you on?
It's I can get my brain in gear. It was this is what happens when you don't eat for 11 days. It is day 11, so I have 3 days to go.
Give him a round of come on, man! Yeah, hey, listen, he's looking good. Discipline, man. Discipline.
It's discipline.
Well. Right.
But the thing is that you realise that, I mean, one thing it's taught me is that I can do it.
Yeah.
So I will have to change my lifestyle because I have to embrace the fact that I was an addict, and I probably will always be an addict for chocolate and free food. And I just couldn't help myself.
I've got to say, last week on the starting 11, Ryan was banging out of order bringing some biscuits to him.
Yeah, I saw that. I tell you,
and he refused them, which is
yeah, well, it wasn't like,
you know what, right? I knew that was right. I was in Dubai, I was watching the starting 11, right? And I knew when those biscuits come on, I go, that's a Ryan move.
We went to a function once, right? One of Cash's dudes, right? And there was like, was it the chocolate fingers out on the bar? Like,
so
I'll put it this way, right? There was only one person that got those chocolate biscuits. Like, no one, they were all out there for everybody. He ate the lot. Didn't worry about anybody else. So for him not to eat those biscuits was fantastic.
That's an addiction. And the thing is, like with any addiction, you have to go cold turkey.
Yeah.
And you can't do it. And hopefully now, I mean, before I'd do any show, I'd go and buy a family bar of chocolate from the local shop before I came in here. In that I thought that you have association. Those smokers, when they're having a drink, they think, I have to smoke. When I was doing a show, I'd think, before I do the show, I would have to have a bar of chocolate. And I have to break that habit. I have to break it.
Listen, you're doing brilliantly, man. Keep up the good work, man. Well done to Julian, man. Yeah, you're looking good. You're looking good. And I know, Lee, tomorrow you've got a big moment. On Friday, 1 p.m, Lee is going to be going live, right? And let me tell you a little bit about it. At AFTV, we know that football is more than just a game, it's life. And with Omili, you can finally stop sitting on the sidelines and get into the game yourself. Omili is an app where fans can connect, debate, and shape the conversation in real time. Whether you want to host your own live debate or just to jump on somebody else's as a guest or just to listen in, Omili is the place to be. And at AFTV, we're going to be jumping on there too. Cecil and Lee will be hosting a live debate on the app Friday at 1 p.m. Don't forget that, Friday at 1 p.m. They're going to be tackling some of the big questions around Arsenal, and you do not want to miss it. It's going to be a really, really good one. Plus, there's going to be a unique scoring system that earns you points the more you engage on there. So download the Omili app now using the link in the description below. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen to get involved. And after you sign up, be sure to search and follow the AFTV channel so that you can interact with us and vote for the side you're on in the debate. It's entirely in audio. So maybe we can pull some of the bits of it off, if it's a good debate and put it on the show. But listen, get involved with it right now. Download it. As I said, the QR code is on the screen. And download the Omili app right now. It's powered by fans like you. And it's a great place to debate. And as I said, Lee and Cecil debating tomorrow at 1 p.m. And you can vote for who wins that debate. So no nonsense from you. No rubbish.
No, well, there will be.
Like when you said Saka. Drop Saka. Why play Saka in a game like this? We don't need Saka. I don't want to hear no rubbish like that, because I was away last week in Dubai, right?
Perhaps you should stay away some more then. So perhaps you should stay away for some more.
I was going to say
Saka was outstanding.
You see, I was going to say some nice things about him.
Just let him talk.
Let him talk.
You shouldn't follow his lead. Let him talk.
You see, this guy's getting cheeky now, right? I was watching a game with Arsenal UAE. Dubai fan group, right? And a lot of them have some really nice things to say about you guys. You know what I mean? Particularly you. They like you down there in Dubai. I think maybe it's because you're always over there. You know what I mean? Sunning themselves, right? But they were bigging you up a lot. So big up to Arsenal UAE. But Saka in that game was brilliant. I mean, it was the Saka show. 2 assists and a goal. And you know what? This guy, I'm just what I've been saying to you guys, he has to play. He's our best player. I saw last week why this guy is so good, because I compared 2 players, right? 2 players that look exciting. Probably one that looks even more exciting than Saka when you're watching him play. But I looked at the 2 players and I said, end product. I looked at Adama Traore in that game against Manchester City. When he picks the ball up and he's running, it's exciting. He's like explosive. He's got everything until he gets into that final third, and then he's just useless. If that would have been Saka last week, Fulham would have beaten Man City with those chances he had, the one-on-ones. But it's just with Adama Traore, his crossing's not good enough. His shooting's not good enough. But what Saka has now, when you see the difference between him, is that when he's in those positions, there's always end product. I mean, that assist for Martinelli, I just love the way when he cuts in, they're all expecting him to shoot. He has a little look up. I don't know if you guys sort of noticed that. He kind of looks up. He sees like over by the far post, and then he just puts in the perfect delivery. And Martinelli, great finish by him. And I was just like, he's such a complete player. I think he's so good, right? And he's so consistent that often we kind of forget how good he is.
I don't think we forget how good he is, and we've had this discussion a few times over the last few weeks. But my question to you would be, we acknowledge how good he is. We've never said to drop him, but would you? But no, we didn't say drop him. We'd say rest him, and there's a subtle difference. But what I'd say to you is, on what you've said, would you play him every single week?
Every single Premier League game, if he's fit. Premier League game, if he's fit, he plays. So then
when would you rotate him? For what games?
No, I'd say unless if he's in the red zone, if he's if he's nearing an injury or he's absolutely knackered, because there have been times like towards the end of last season where you could see that he was getting a bit tired. Fair enough. But to me, if that guy's fit, he starts. Just like Salah starts every game he's fit. Just like Haaland starts every game he's fit. When you've got your best player who are difference makers, because that's what he is. He's a difference maker in games, right? He has to play, because not everybody can do what he does on a consistent basis. And that's why he is so good. And that's why in Premier League, where he's so tight already, you look at us, we're unbeaten this season, but we're not top just because we went out of 10 men in a couple of games and slipped up and dropped points. And that means we're in 3rd place, not 1st. So to me, he has, I mean, suppose we'd arrested him last week. You might have looked on the Southampton game and thought, light work, Southampton, that's the perfect game to rest him. We could have been looking at a different situation.
So would you have rested him? Would you rest him then for Champions League games? If you say, let's keep him in for every Premier League game, would you rest him for Champions League games? So we've got a Champions League game on the Wednesday and then a Premier League game on Saturday. Would you play him for both?
Well, at the moment, Champions League games are important, so he has to play in those as well.
So you'd play him so what you're saying is you'd play him every important game, you'd play him?
Yes. If he's fit, and there's, he's not, as I said, he's not in the what they call the red zone where he's nearing, knackered, or he's not carrying an injury that could jeopardise him being out for further. If he's fit, every important game, which Premier League games are important, Champions League games are important, he starts. He's our best player.
Well, he's proved it. He's proved that he is the best player. I thought on Saturday he was sensational.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers, you'd have to agree.
Not only that you put up the numbers, which is fair enough, but it's also like they've got 3 players on him at times, 2 players guaranteed. Every time he picked the ball up Saturday, he had 2 players on him like that, and he finds a way of getting past them, doing the right thing. If if he wants to take them on, he takes them on. If he don't, he pops it off. I thought on Saturday, it was I won't say a tough game for us, but they was defending in numbers, which they haven't done all season, Southampton.
Yeah, I know.
Come along to the Arsenal and they double up on him, And every single game, I watched Cole Palmer, who I think is an outstanding player against Brighton, have the freedom of Stamford Bridge. When Brighton come to us, 2 players on Saka all the time, and he still finds a way of delivering. The pass, he wins the pass for Havertz. If he doesn't win that ball and then the pass, I know Havertz has a fantastic amount to do after that, but it starts
the first. It's also with that. It's like he wins it, but then he passes it straight away.
It's a simple ball.
It's a simple ball, but how many times
Havertz the space to make a decision on shooting?
How many times does a simple ball go astray? He makes it, he delivers it. I've heard people turn around and say, "Oh well, his goal was a miscontrol from such." So what?
Yeah.
But
so
again,
what?
He was still in the position and he hits it.
Exactly that. He's got into the position.
Yeah.
And his first, it's a fantastic finish.
Yeah. The way you say, for instance, just to give you a comparison, and I heard Ian Wright saying we shouldn't get on his back and we shouldn't get on his back. If that had been Jesus, he would have tried to take an additional touch or whatever, and the defender might have got back, he wouldn't have scored. Saka just bang, first time. He was just running through on it. It's a miscontrol, and he's already made up his mind what he's going to do.
It's in the back of the net
because he's
before the
done
goal
that,
move.
that's why the keeper had no chance.
It's a fantastic finish.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic finish. He makes it look easy. It's not, but he does. And, you have to say, even with the Martinelli one, I remember very similar to the one at Chelsea when Trossard gets it, and you're dead right what you say, that everybody's expecting him to shoot, and then he delivers that. And it's inch perfect. And, some say, oh, we don't do much, apart from do corners and things like that. You go out on a pitch and you say, right, you deliver a cross into that position 19 times out of 20, you do it.
Yeah.
You see where they go. He does it every single time.
You're talking about the Martinelli goal?
No, I'm talking about when he does corners.
Corners.
He makes assists on corners. He delivers to the perfect spot 19 times out of 20. Now, you go and do that on a fit. It's difficult.
The most important part of a corner is the delivery.
And he does it so well.
Because if the delivery's not right.
And this is what I don't understand about corners, in that, for me, a professional player should be able to do that, because I've seen some, and not so much this season because they've really improved in it, but you look through the Premier League, you see a lot of ropey corners. To me, that must be one of the easier parts of being a footballer.
I disagree with you. I think a corner's difficult.
It's difficult. You go and try it.
For instance, right, so to score from a corner,
the initial delivery.
Right, because remember, you've got so many players back. So what a lot of teams are trying to do sometimes, right, and it looks frustrating to us, right? They're trying to sometimes get to that near post where a player can just then flick it on, right, to then create havoc in the box. That's a very difficult thing to do. That's why you see people sometimes, they hit a corner, but they mistimed it slightly, so it comes in and it's cleared away at the near post, and people are like, what? Why didn't you just lump it at the back? But if you lump it at the back, most defenders can deal with it.
And the thing with corners, and what people don't appreciate, is like at times, particularly at professional level or semi-professional level, and that you get to them and there's a dip in on the edge of the thing, or there's not enough space to kick it and whatever. Like if you're doing it practicing normally, you can do it, but it's difficult. It's not easier than but to deliver it time in every single time.
It's the same move. It's repetitive over and over again. And I know if you do any move and you practice any move, whether it be martial arts or football or anything, and you're doing that one move over and over again, you become proficient at it. So I still can't get my head around how many wayward corners that you see.
Maybe they don't practice as much as what they should.
But then they talk about automation. One thing a lot of things Arteta's doing is that he has this automated process. So that ball from Saka to Martinelli, that just didn't come out of his head from inspiration. They work on it. They came out, Martinelli said after the game, they practiced that exact move.
Yeah, you know what, right? Funny enough, when I was in Dubai last week, one of my friends over there, he actually got to go to a training session when Arsenal was over there. I remember they was over there earlier on in the year. And he said it was a full training session. It wasn't like sometimes they do it in front of.
Yeah.
This was like a special invite, so he got to go to it, right? And he said that what he found really fascinating about that training session is that Saka, and this was obviously a thing that he was instructed to do, had to do everything with his right foot. So he said that he played all the game with his right foot. Like, so every time he got the ball, he was on his right foot. Every time he delivered it, every delivery he did was on his right foot. He just worked and did everything on his right foot, which was really, really interesting, you know? And so like you said, Julian, you know what I mean? They practice these things and Saka practices it over and over, but what an incredible player he was. And that, you know, I have to admit, right, when we played Leicester the other day, I was never I always thought we were going to win that game. When Southampton went 1-0 up, I was like, these guys, they got the sign on us, man. I was like, how have we dominated that first half? They barely had a touch. And then, to be fair to them, they come out pretty lively in the second half, right? And I was like, are they going to do this to us again? Where we're not going to beat them. Southampton, again, are going to make us drop. I wasn't thinking we'd lose, but I was thinking this could be easier draw.
We rode our luck a bit.
And there was that chance
hit the bar,
with
didn't they? 78th minute corner.
Yeah, if that goes in, that could be a
but then to be fair to Arsenal, they showed a lot of... they're doing like what City do now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because City went 1-0 down and everybody in the bar where I was jumping up and that. And I think the only person in the bar who just sat there was...
I was the same.
And they go, Robbie, he did it. I was going... I go, this early. I go, what are you lot jumping up for, man? Arsenal becoming like that as well, where even if they go a goal down, I think they've got that belief where, it's ain't not over yet. We're going to come back and we're going to do something in this game. And that's really good to see. The
good thing about that game, well, I was not angry, but I was disappointed after the game. Like, not as happy as and we've already alluded to it. I was much more happier on the Sunday. I enjoyed Spurs losing more than that game.
We'll get to that.
Because of the manner of how they lost.
The manner how it is. But that was the first time someone said to me in the week, that was the first time we've been a goal down for a long while. We've always been like on the run that we've been on. We've been winning. Oh,
no, weren't we a goal down against Brighton?
No.
I know we're a goal up.
No, goal up. We've been winning.
It was a man down.
Man down. Man down. But we was losing to Manchester City, come back and showed a little bit. Yeah. And we've also shown it against Southampton. So we showed different side. I know, like it's simple, it's easy when you're 2-3-0 up against like every game, and then all what's up. But you go back to January, we was always winning. But these last couple of weeks, we've gone a goal down, and we've come back and responded. Against Manchester City, and also then against Southampton. So that shows you that we're in a good place.
Yeah. And Mikel's actually alluded to that. He put a positive spin on it in one of his press conferences, saying that when you sort of go 4, 5, 6-0 up, or you win a game easily, you don't learn from that. Everyone sort of you come out, but everyone slaps you on the back. Well done, everything's great. There's no critical analysis. So when something adverse happens in a game, they can actually learn from that and improve. So he kind of embraced it, and of course he was putting a spin on it. By saying, look, this is the way that we can improve by having these situations.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, a lot of people were saying, look, a lot of us fans were disappointed after Saturday. I'm pretty sure that Mikel went into that dressing room and felt like we did. He weren't happy about it. He wasn't happy that we'd gone a goal down. And he weren't happy about Leicester. So he won't be. And I agree with you. He's saying, right, we'll learn from that, and make sure it don't happen again.
Prime example of Arsenal learning was Tuesday, the previous Tuesday at PSG, when, if you remember rightly, at the weekend, we were 2-0 up, and then, Leicester came back, and that. What did they do? You could see how they learnt after that, because on the Tuesday, they're 2-0 up, and then in the second half, they said, we're shutting this down and managing this. We're not going to go chase 3-4 goals because we got the game won already. Let you guys come and we'll try and catch you on the counters. That is learning. Now, maybe Tottenham could learn from that, because you mentioned that, and I thought, let's mention that.
Let's have a little laugh.
Right, because I'll tell you, I was away, obviously, and I picked up my phone on the Sunday and I saw 2-0. Because I was like, the Tottenham game's on. I was going, should I go and watch it somewhere? I was sort of out and about. I saw 2-0. I was like, nah, forget that, man. I'm not interested. So
didn't have the
went out.
faith.
No, game done, I thought. And not only that, when I was reading through the reports on it, they were absolutely dominating it. Everything like, I was thinking this.
Yeah,
I was
this is Spurs.
I'm looking at it and thinking, actually, this will be a good win, going away to Brighton.
It should have been 4 or 5
That's
nil
impressive.
half time.
That's
Was
impressive.
that good.
Then later on, I was out again, and then I thought, let me just check the scores. Let's see how they finished. And when I saw 3-2, I could not believe. I could not believe it. I mean, I watched the highlights and that.
I watched it.
Danny Welbeck, big up, man.
Danny Welbeck. I watched it, and they were 2-0. They should have been scored in the first minute. You know what I mean? Anyway, they should have won. Danny Welbeck missed that chance. I've thrown the remote. Danny Welbeck, you're rubbish and all that. Then, after I switch it off, I'm going to watch the NFL. I've had enough of it, and that's how it was. But like the kicks off and all that, it comes on my phone. 2-1 straight away, within seconds. I thought, it must have just kicked off. That's best decision of my life was switching that telly back on. The next 45 minutes, feet up. It was
but this is
pleasure.
This is
and Danny Welbeck to get the winner as well.
Oh, it was wonderful. But you need the faith, because after the first
Did you watch
half,
the whole game?
I watched the whole game. I've got nothing else to do. I can't eat, can't go out. So it's one of the benefits. I watched the first half, and I did have this inkling of, if I didn't have anything better to do,
you'd have gone out.
Then I'd have gone out. But I thought, all right, I'll just watch a little bit. I watched 10, 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, obviously, it's Spurs. This is the difference. When Arsenal go behind, we do believe, we have this faith that Arsenal are going to come around and win it, even when it comes to 90th minute. They don't have the belief because of their history and everything that's gone from now, is that they are destined for failure. And it's wonderful. So, Sunday was probably more pleasurable than Saturday, but not only for Spurs, because all the other results went our way as well.
Yeah, and then when you relate it back to what we began talking about with Saka and consistency, again, you see it there. You see, like, the week before, Van der Ven and Romero, people are lauding them, Doggy, all these guys for their performance against Manchester United, right? Then fast forward a week, and those same players look ordinary. Van der Ven, right? I know Doggy. What was he doing on that goal? Yeah. But then also Van der Ven, he misses the cross comes in, he completely misses it. It's all right running the whole length of the pitch and creating an assist, but your day job
is defending,
and that was shocking. And then Romero, right? His defending was shocking on the third. Like you just like. This is football, right? The very, very best players, right? When Tottenham players want to compare, say, for instance, a Van der Ven, who is a good player. We're not denying that. He is a good player. But when you want to compare him with, say, a Saliba, that's why he's not as good as Saliba, because he's not consistent. He's not as consistently good as Saliba, as Gabriel. That's what makes those players so good.
We've been there, Rob.
We've
had good players.
We know good players, and we know players that will do it one week and then not the. We've all been there when it's been frustrating. You go to, I don't know. I remember we beat Man United away, and then we didn't win for another 8 games. You know what I mean? And that was in Arteta's reign. We've been there. We know what it's like, and it is. You're dead right. It's not that they're not good players. Of course, they're good players. They're Premier League players. They're good, but it's doing it week in, week out. Consistency, and we've got that with the Salibas, Gabriel, certainly with the Sakas.
Havertz.
Havertz. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's got progressively better. He hasn't been consistent. Yeah. He's just been progressing.
How good was he again?
He's brilliant.
Excellent.
Brilliant. Took that goal brilliantly. Was that him who was it him who won the ball in the midfield for the third?
On the floor.
He was on the floor.
On the floor.
Yeah.
He's on the floor.
Again, what a contribution to that goal, because he didn't give up on it, and then he laid a brilliant pass onto Trossard.
It was simple but effective.
He had a fantastic game, Havertz. I mean, had it not been for the fact that what Saka sort of stats at the end of the game, but I thought Havertz as well was
considering he played a little bit in midfield, and then when you go a goal down like that against a team like Southampton, the worst thing is is 10, 15 minutes later and he still ain't scored.
But he just thought, he just took it. And it was automated. I mean, you think about it, it's a year to the day almost from when he scored that goal to when he got the penalty at Bournemouth. And that was almost like a sympathy vote from the rest of the team.
But no, you know what? That was great captaincy by Mike.
Brilliant in hindsight. But at the time, people were. I mean, I was in the crowd then, and when he got handed the penalty, people were criticising it. What they're giving it to him for? That's just pathetic. This is a professional game. Shouldn't be happening. And that was the catalyst.
Yeah, because the people started singing his name up.
Yeah, because we come up with that.
His name had not been sung before that. You've got a player who's thinking to himself, I know these fans are not happy that I came in, man. They came in from Chelsea, big price tag. I'm not really delivering at the moment. That got him off the mark. People singing his name, and then from then on.
I just think also you have to look at him as a person and just say he knows the game, he knows what he's doing. Against Chelsea, he celebrated the goals, the way he talks and everything like that. I think he's won all the fans round, not just with his play.
He's won every fan round. I don't hear nobody talking negatively about him now.
Some of us weren't even critical of him to begin with because we understood that you need time to integrate into a team. I mean, even Bergkamp, Henry, Pires, they all needed time. And then this is what I didn't understand. And I haven't really been on social media for that long, but it was this instant judgment. And I couldn't get my head around how people that go and watch football, whether it be in the stadium or on television, could make such an instantaneous judgment and condemn someone when they're not even giving the guy a chance.
I have to admit, though, he's been better than I thought he was going to be.
I've always backed him.
But
I listen, when he came in, I was like, why? I have to admit, I looked on it, I thought, that's a strange signing for that amount of money as well. But then I said, you know what? I remember him at Leverkusen when he was there.
I've always seen potential in him.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe Arteta can get the best out of him, right? But at first, I was really found it a bit of a strange signing. But he has proved Mikel Arteta right and everybody else wrong. And you are right. There were some people right from... I remember me having arguments with Cecil. Because he literally, the way I was going, why are you going in on the guy? Give him a chance. Let's see. And now look, if we'd have bought a striker in the summer who was doing what he was doing now, we'd all be lauding him up. Yeah,
he's been brilliant for us as striker. I've always, I go back to the Newcastle game last season. I know we lost that game, but they were putting it about, some bounce out. And what's he do? Go smashing free. Give it back. And I thought, you'll do for me. And listen, there's been a tradition with Arsenal all over the years, right? It's not Havertz now, so we've gone on to Jesus now, you know what I mean? The fan base has gone out.
And Ketch's gone, so...
Yeah, and Eddie's gone there. I totally agree with what Ian Wright said, that just give him time and back him, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if he carries on playing like he does to the end of the season, then you go, right, okay, thank you very much. But just back him.
Do we do that too much as fans?
Yeah.
Because you think about it, right? It's Martinelli a few games ago.
Yes.
But then now Martinelli scored a goal. He scored a couple of goals.
Someone, Rob, behind me, every time he got the ball, he's rubbish. Get rid of him,
Jesus.
Yeah, I was biting my tongue. He was bigger than me. Yeah. But I was biting my tongue, you know what I mean? Just let him. I get what he wasn't having the greatest of games, but I remember before that knee injury, how good he was. Yeah. And it's not for the want of trying, Robbie.
Have patience sometimes.
Sometimes you've got to have a little bit of patience.
Because every player's going to go through. Look at that guy, that Brendan Johnson.
Yeah.
At Spurs.
Yeah.
Where, I had a guy to deactivate his social media accounts. He was getting so much abuse off of Tottenham fans. And now he's 6 games in a row he scored. He's been their best player. You've got to sometimes show. I think with Jesus we have to show patience for definite because, like you said, Lee, he's been good for us. He was him and Zinchenko. That's another one people get on.
Yeah,
as well.
Get on to him. Yeah,
have been the catalyst for change at Arsenal. Those two came in, and they were one of the big movers in us starting to challenge. So I'm going to have patience with both of them.
You say about Zinchenko. I've got to say this as well because. Calafiori, I love Calafiori, but he is a bit vulnerable in certain...
Yeah, because he got done a couple of times in that Southampton game.
Zinchenko, everybody would be going, he can't defend, he can't... But because they like Calafiori at this moment in time, and I like him as well, don't get me wrong, some of the things he does, he's
very good.
Very, very good, but he's learning on the job in that left-back role, and he will make mistakes, but... The fan base is tolerant to that, you know what I mean? But
they don't even mention it, and I saw it a couple of times. The more I see of him, I think he's fabulous at left back. I think he'll probably make a better centre back.
Well, he is a centre back, really, for
but
Italy
because the way that his positional sense, and he will learn it. But a couple of times, as Lee said, that, and I saw it against PSG as well, is that he got too tight and he got turned really easily, and that's a defensive naivety. And again, if it was Zinchenko, people would go berserk, and Zinchenko's been fabulous.
Yeah.
It's just, I think at the moment, Calafiori is a better option at left back.
Yeah.
And you can go back to all the days at Arsenal. Go back when Paul Davis used to get
terrible
stick at first, but what a player he turned out to be. And
you had Willie Young.
Willie
That was
Young,
the first one I remember getting booed.
Got booed.
And I remember asking my dad, one of the first games, and they were booing Willie Young. I said, I don't understand, because isn't he an Arsenal player?
Yeah, it's just
Gilberto used to as well not get the praise.
Bowie got like a
Bowie,
didn't he? Like,
He got subbed, didn't he? After being subbed.
Like, it's there was a time when Aaron Ramsey was getting a little bit of stick and all that, like, and but they don't realise he come back from a massive injury. It's been a thing with Arsenal for a very, very long
That
while.
was at every club, I feel.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably does.
Yeah.
Probably does.
Anyway, looking at the table at the moment, you've got Liverpool top of the league on 18 points, City second on 17, Arsenal third on 17, Chelsea in fourth place on 14. Those make up the top four. What I wanted to do was compare, because I think it's quite widely been spoken about that the title winner's probably going to come from one of three teams. Maybe come too early for Chelsea, even though they've started the season well. Liverpool, Manchester City and Arsenal. I wanted to look at each team's next, say, 5 games, and see what position, we feel everybody will be in after that. Because, for instance, with Liverpool, there's been a lot of talk, despite the fact they've started the season brilliantly, that they've had some very favourable fixtures so far that you would expect them to win. But if you then start to look at the fixtures they got coming up over the next 5 games, they got some difficult games. So it's going to be a real test of Liverpool to find out exactly what they are made of. Because let's be real, Arsenal have had a hard start. We said it at the start of the season before the season even started, and it's proven to be that way. We had to go away to Manchester City, away to Aston Villa, away to Spurs. Those are 3 of the hardest away games you can get within the season we've had within the first 5 games. And, we've been unbeaten. And had we not have gone down to 10 men in a couple of games, probably could have got maximum points. But Liverpool's next 5 are these, right? After the international break, they kick off against Chelsea.
Is that home or away?
Chelsea at home. But Chelsea playing really, really well. They then go away to us, away at Arsenal. And we know that won't be easy. We beat them quite comprehensively last year. They then go away to Brighton, which again is not an easy game. They're home then after that against Aston Villa, another very, very good side. And then Southampton. Is that the League Cup or is that the league? It's Southampton they've got. So those are some very tough games. They've also got a game against Real Madrid in the Champions League.
I think they get 10 points from those. I've just calculated it, so I didn't have time to prepare this and have a spreadsheet, but I just calculated it in my head. They'll get 10 points from that.
10?
Yeah, I could put them down for 10.
Where do you think they'll drop points?
I think they'll drop points against Chelsea.
Ooh, at home?
Yeah, at home. And what was the away game you said?
Well, they've got to go away to us.
Yeah, away to us, they'll lose.
Right.
I mean, the other thing to factor in is they're without the quality of Becker.
Can we call him
Alisson?
No,
because his surname's Becker.
Let's call him
Let's call him Becker.
He's about as good as Becker at the moment.
And that's a big miss.
No Alisson probably until I think they said the end of November at least.
Yeah.
So
I think they beat Chelsea. I think Chelsea have got
excuse me,
loads of suspensions, haven't they? This week, got a couple of their players, big key players missing. But I'm with you. I think Arsenal, is a tough one. And I also think Brighton, they drop points at Brighton. I don't know if they lose, but I don't know.
That was one that I thought they'd actually win. There was Chelsea, I think they drop points at. I think they'll lose to us. And there was one
Villa at home's not easy either.
Yeah, that's the one I thought would be a draw.
I prefer it be Villa away.
City's 5 coming up. They go away to Wolves.
Win.
Yeah. Wolves gave them a problem last year,
Yeah.
didn't they? But that you'd expect them
Got to
to.
win sooner or later, Wolves. We desperately want Wolves.
We desperately need Wolves to put a run together.
Come on, Wolves.
Although it'd be actually good for my diet if they went down.
They're at home against Southampton, so you'd expect that to be a beat down. I think they then go away to Bournemouth, so you'd expect them to win that. Away at Brighton, you'd expect them to win that. And then a tricky little one at home against Spurs. You always seem to give them a bit of bother, but you can't expect them to win that.
The other half and half scarves will be out that game, won't they? Like, because you don't know what Spurs do. Do the fans want to go up there and win or not? We don't know. You never know with Spurs.
Yeah,
That's a very favourable run for them in November, isn't it?
Well, it is when you look at what Liverpool got and what Arsenal got.
yeah.
Right, let's look at Arsenal.
Let's look at
How
Arsenal.
many points do you reckon they'll get out of that?
15.
I mean, where, you think 15? There was one where I thought they'd drop points. What was about second or third game you mentioned?
Brighton away.
Brighton away. I think
You
they'll.
think Liverpool win there and Man City won?
Yes, I just.
Do you want to have a biscuit or something?
There was another.
A biscuit.
Just quickly run through there.
All right, so again, Wolves away,
Yeah. Win.
Southampton at home,
Win.
Bournemouth away,
Win.
Brighton away,
Draw.
and
10
Spurs
points.
at home.
Win.
I think they win every
I think they win all of those.
Yeah.
I think
the only team that I could see, Tottenham a bit of a bogey team. Tottenham could give them problems.
Depends where Tottenham.
I think Brighton have got a very good record against them in Brighton last few
I'll
years.
be very surprised if they don't.
I
win
don't
it.
think Brighton will beat City.
I think they win
Yeah.
it again.
All right, Arsenal, Bournemouth away,
Yeah.
Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home.
Chelsea away.
Sorry, Chelsea away, Forest away.
Home.
Forest at home. Sorry, but
Do you want a biscuit?
Forest at home.
I think we'll draw at Newcastle.
All right, so let's run through those. So Bournemouth,
Win, Lee.
Yeah, I'll back us to win now.
Yeah.
Liverpool at home,
Win.
Yeah, I'll back us up. Back us at home anytime.
Newcastle away,
Draw.
Draw will be a good result. Love to win there, but I think
Chelsea away,
Draw.
Yeah.
and Forest. By the way, Forest not
Forest
easy.
are very
They've been playing
difficult,
well.
but
They got a draw. They
back us
got a draw at Chelsea. They beat Liverpool as well at Anfield.
So if you lose one of them and win one, say if you was to lose to I don't know, Newcastle and beat Chelsea, you're in a better position than drawing both.
But you
it's
don't have the
psychologically
opportunity to be
looks better,
invincible.
Yeah, so
Opportunity to go invincible. Is that what you're looking at now?
Could be. Look at the away games we've got out of the way. The hardest games of the season.
Get off of that.
The hardest games of the season are out of the way. Man City away. If we've gone to Man City and not lost there, I'm not saying it's a probability. I'm saying it's a possibility the way they're playing.
I think. Do you know what, Gillian? I'm not saying that we're going to go and it, but I could see us equaling what we've done in 2002 and being unbeaten away from home.
Well, pretty much. I mean,
Liverpool away, which is a tough one. Newcastle and Chelsea. We got we get once we if we was to go, and not lose to Newcastle and Chelsea, you really would say that Liverpool is the real tough one after that.
Yeah,
we've done them all.
United, don't be ridiculous.
I'd like to take on United.
Different United. That's it. Because by the time we get to that, right, it ain't going to be the same. I want to play United next week.
I'll play United.
Right? You know what I mean? But the thing is, by the time we get to United, they'll have a new manager.
Yeah.
And they won't be playing like that, surely, because,
I agree.
But I think we beat Bournemouth. I think we beat Liverpool because it's at home. If it's away, I'm not sure, but at home. Newcastle, that's such a hard one to predict. We can win it, we can lose it, we can draw it. It's a hard one to call. I just can't predict that one.
Yeah, City had that same thing, didn't they? They should have been more than one up at half time. Could have lost it in the end,
Yeah, they're that type of team.
So
I'll go
that
draw.
type of team.
I'll go draw. And then the Chelsea away, we saw last year. That's not going to be easy either.
And the year before, we only won 1-0, and they were terrible. We did deserve to win by more than one goal. Yeah, it was a set piece, but
I could see that as a draw. And then and then beating Forest at home.
Yeah, we'll beat Forest at home.
So
City's probably be 4 points clear of us going after that.
So I would say by after 5 games, doing quick maths in my head, you'd probably get City 1, Liverpool 2 and Arsenal 3, but it'll still be really close. And if that's the case, then we're still perfectly positioned this season.
It's true what you guys are saying, right? When you look at it, right, if we can get to the end of November, kind of intact, like still looking half decent, right? Not necessarily top of the league or nothing, but looking, would have got, like you said, City away, Villa away, Spurs away, Chelsea away,
Newcastle away,
and Newcastle away. All gone. And those are 5 of your most difficult away games. I mean, after that, it is Liverpool away, isn't it? Which is because you look at how I look at some away games, right? Listen, any away game is tough.
Oh, all tough.
Go into
Brighton
a team
away is going to be tough.
You go to a game, but there's certain away games that you look at and you say there's a high probability you can lose that, and that's Liverpool away.
Well, you're not favourites in those games. City away.
You're not favourites in that. You're not favourites in City away. You're not necessarily favourites of Chelsea away.
Newcastle.
You're not favourites of Villa away. And Newcastle away, you're not necessarily favourites. You may be just favourites just because more people have lumped on.
Yeah, but
on Arsenal. But the reality of it is you're never a favourite when you go to a tough place like that. If we can get all those away games out of the way and we're still in good shape, I mean, that's a great start to the season. It really is. Because then you look at it, like you said, Liverpool away, United away, we don't know what shape. But those would be, out of all the away games, those would be the 2 that you'd be looking where the probability is stacked slightly against you. But then after that, am I missing anyone? Of the top teams that I'm...
We've got Man United, of course, as we said. I think Brighton's always a tough game, as you alluded to just there.
Brighton's tough, but...
City could get something from that. So
Brighton always tough, but you fancy yourself to go Brighton and win.
I fancy City to win this, so I'm going to fancy us.
Yeah, it's true, because when I look on it, if I'm looking through it, I'm saying, the tough games...
They're without a few players as well. I mean, obviously, Rodri's out. Is De Bruyne? De Bruyne's got a bit of an injury.
He's going to be back after the international break.
Right. So. And the other thing is, they haven't got backup really to Haaland. So if Haaland was to get injured... It's very fragile for them.
It's a real big opportunity for us. If they can come through these games, not necessarily win all of them, but just come through those and you're still near there. You're still up near there, right? Arsenal are then you're looking at it. Because we've had such a tough start to the season. If we start to then look at after that and we look at December, if you negotiate that, December looks like this.
Do you know we ain't got to go outside London the whole of December? And half of January.
All right. Well, there's one other game. There's one other game in November because I went up to the Forest game. Another game in November is we've got to go away to West Ham. We did win 6-0 there last.
It's tough, though.
It's always tough.
Is it all? How
it's always tough.
But when we beat them 6-0. So
we beat them 6-0 last time. We drew with them 2-2. If you start to look at it, there's a lot of games we look at. We say it's always tough, and it will be tough.
It's a London derby, of course. It's tough. Listen,
but we've actually got quite a good record at West Ham recently.
Dismissing things that we've done very well there last season.
I just said it isn't always tough.
They beat us at home last season. They beat us away in the League Cup. Because of the Declan Rice thing, that is always now a tough game.
Tough game, Lee, but I think where I'm looking...
I back
kind of with Julian in a bit, right, is that if you look at in the Premier League over the last few seasons, we've done all right.
We've always done all right.
Even that game where, that game, we didn't lose that game when it was 2-2.
Yeah,
we were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
We should really...
We've always done well.
We've
got a good record at the London Stadium, in fairness, and we've got a good record at Upton Park. We've always done well there, but it's never easy.
Yeah. All right, let's look at December. Right, I'm just looking at it for Arsenal now. If we negotiate...
Don't go outside London. Wait till you see.
Right.
Arsenal play Man United at home, right? The way United have been playing...
Which is a Wednesday, by the way, now. Let's change that to a Wednesday.
Oh, is it? It's still saying Tuesday
unofficially,
on the website.
but officially...
Oh, you heard something we ain't heard?
Oh, it's a Wednesday now.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you why it is, because Manchester United are playing on a Sunday in the Europa League, so it will change, and it will be confirmed.
They're playing on Sunday?
In the Europa League?
In the Europa League. So it can't be a Tuesday, so push it back to the Wednesday. But
it's all the games that week in
No, there's some
the
still going to be a Tuesday, some Wednesday.
Oh, right, but they're all being played during the week.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Man United at home, right? We go away to Fulham, Did lose there last year, but we go away to Fulham.
Sunday 2 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Not been official yet.
How you know all this? What you
saying,
some, FBI,
Right, I've just
CIA, are we?
I'll tell you.
MI6.
Go on.
All right.
See if I'm wrong.
Then we're at home against Everton, Saturday the 14th.
3 o'clock kickoff.
Right.
Still the same, is it?
Yeah.
Ain't changed?
That stays.
Then on the 21st, Saturday the 21st, we go away to Crystal Palace.
5:30 kickoff.
On the Saturday.
Yep.
How do you know all this? Right. Then,
I think I know how he knows.
Boxing Day, at home against Ipswich. Boxing Day, still?
At this moment in time, staying the same, but could change.
Well, I could have said that.
Yeah, I could have said that.
And then on the
right.
29th.
Not the 29th now.
Right. Okay. So what date's it going to be?
When is it?
I think it's at 5:30 kickoff. Brentford, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
What day is it saying?
Sunday the 29th of December.
I think it's going to New Year's Day.
New Year's Day?
5:30
No,
kickoff.
I wouldn't go that.
Right.
So what?
You
when
get
we
any
play?
of these, if he gets any of these wrong, we're on him, yeah?
I think it's New Year's Day, 5:30 kickoff.
So-
You get any of these wrong, I'll
when's
tell you,
it-
I'm on your case.
Didn't we normally have a game New Year's Day?
No, there's no games New Year's Day.
No, you
Okay.
don't know me, Pete. New Year's Eve.
So
you're
the
talking.
29th. Yeah,
So your New Year's Eve, you mean?
Yeah,
I
last
think it's scheduled for a Saturday, but they've changed it to New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
Eve or day?
Or Eve.
No, day. I think it's New Year's Day, 5:30 kickoff.
Okay. So, Brentford away.
What's the next one out of that?
Sorry?
What's the next game out
We
of
normally
that?
have the FA Cup
One
after that,
second,
don't
one
we?
second.
I've got Spurs is changed to...
No, but then the next games are in the
win.
new year.
Yeah.
But you just...
Spurs game's changed to a
Hold on,
Wednesday,
you messed up already.
8:15 kickoff.
Oh, no, you didn't mess up. You didn't mess up. I was about to say to you messed up because we are going outside London. But it's not, it's Brentford, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's actually right. So, don't have to go outside London, right? Man United at home, Fulham away, Everton at home, Palace away, Ipswich at home, Brentford. All sort of teams in the bottom half of the table right now. That's a good, favourable month to rack up some points, isn't it? I mean, listen, last year we lost to Fulham and West Ham in that December, but...
It was bloody horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
and lost to
horrible.
Liverpool in the FA Cup as well.
That's a favourable month, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the month where I think we'll not pull away, but the month where we'll pull it back. I think out of all those games, we'll draw one. I just think to win all of them would be too much. And you always get something in a game of football over the course of time that goes wrong. You might get a sending off or a free goal. Something happens. But I think we'll win all of those, bar one that we'll draw. And at that point, we'll kind of start getting to. We'll become number one in the league.
And we've also got Champions League games in between there, which are all at home as well.
And Liverpool.
They ain't got to go out London.
I tell you, that's a good month.
Yeah.
It's a good month.
It's-
All up virtually, you ain't really got a lot of travelling. I think there's key, you know what I mean?
And that's really interesting points. It does reinforce my idea that doing research is a good thing, and you've done your research.
I have done my
and I'm very
research.
pleased for you.
Thank
You've
you
always
very
said that it's better to be spontaneous, but no, you've done research, and I'm impressed.
I've not done it. I didn't know that was going to come up, but
But you
that's true.
practiced it.
That's why I rate him.
Yeah.
That's why I rate his research. Yeah, because he hasn't rung me up the day before and said, "Robbie, what are we discussing? I need to
but
research
you
it."
don't.
for you, right?
You don't tell me what we're
Yeah,
discussing.
I know. I do deliberately.
So
But
it was
see that I
spontaneous.
rate that because
Thank
he
you.
didn't know that I was. I said at the start, before we came in there, I said, "What we're going to discuss, we'll compare each team's, next say 5 games." I've gone beyond that.
Yep.
Looking at other games in December, and he's come with some extraordinary facts. First of all, he told us
Well,
that
at the
we're not going
moment
to be
it's
leaving.
rumour. Let's see if it's facts.
He told us we would be leaving London.
Yeah.
He's right. We're
Very
not
good.
leaving London. Right.
And
So he's
that's
got
with
that one
Champions
right.
League games
Yep.
as well.
And then he's given us. Not only is he given us, he's given us information that we did not know. He's
Correct.
enlightened.
Yep.
The viewers and the people listening
Yep.
to this podcast with information that they maybe wouldn't have been able to have picked up anywhere else apart from this podcast. I say to you, Lee, that was some outstanding bit of research,
Yeah,
right?
research is
Probably, I would
Now
put
he's
that.
hoping that
I would
that's
probably put
I'm
that.
not.
If it all comes to pass, I would put that as the best bit of research I have ever witnessed on this show.
There you go. So
Would you say that?
I'll have to go back.
Would you say that?
I'll have to go back and look at everything I've ever done. But
no, there's nothing you've done that's you've not given us stuff where I'm like,
impressed.
I didn't know that.
So I said straight away, I'm impressed by the fact he's taken the time to research it, learnt it, and brought it up at a relevant time.
But he's given us information we didn't know.
Exactly. I said I was impressed. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's the best bit of research that's ever been on AFTV. For me to say that, I'm going to have to watch every single video of AFTV since 2012.
On Invincible.
Oh, now you've given a caveat. I've never watched every single...
But you've never given us information.
The ones that you've been on,
you've
never given us as good a research as that.
No,
I'd have to look back on it. I'm not saying... I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Can we just leave it at that? But what I would say is if you'd told me, if you'd taken my calls yesterday and told me what we were doing today...
It's true. They get up on the big screen. Just accept it, Julian.
Just accept it. Be humble.
I will be humble, and that's why I said how well you've done. But if you told me what we were doing today, I would have produced a spreadsheet and given you exactly
could you give that
the five
information that I've given you.
If I'd researched it, but I haven't.
Would you been able to give those times?
Would you be able to give those times?
If I'd
That's
done research,
insider information.
He's got a source as well. I'm impressed. He's got a source.
Who's your source?
Who's my source?
Wikipedia.
I have various different sources. The difference is, I mean, he's obviously...
He'd like to have some sauce, wouldn't he?
I mean, Lee's obviously spoken to someone. I mean, I read. Lee speaks to people. I read and speak to people. Lee speaks to people. And
look. Let's can't even be humble, can he? Just accept it.
He's done
no need to be nasty.
I'm not. I was the one that
we get accused of bullying him. Look, that's what he does. He's been nasty, like saying that I can't read.
First one. I didn't say you couldn't read.
I can read. Just accept it, Julian. There, I can read.
I'm surprised it didn't take 15 takes like last week.
But I done it.
What took 15 takes?
Yeah,
we
didn't say 15. It took 10, Joe. Did it take 10? Just put it up on the screen. It took about 10.
It took about
10 takes to do
10 to 15. A read. That was a bit challenging, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Remember when
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed by you, the way you do it.
Remember the other day when you had a go at me, right? Actually, no, it was, to be fair, it was you. When I started the show and I made a slight mistake.
He's on it like
Yeah, he got edited out.
Huh?
Got edited out.
Yeah, because he's not like you. You've made the biggest mistake ever, right? No,
mate,
it's on camera. It's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you'll find it's Anfield. No, it isn't, Julian. And he got it wrong. With all your research, all your paperwork, your spreadsheets and that, you got it wrong.
Once.
More than once. I remember when he come out of that spreadsheet. Do you remember even people still going about it, like, I got my spreadsheet. He said, we're going to win the league here because they're going to lose here, lose there. Like, his spreadsheet was wrong after one game. One game.
Well, listen, we've come to the end of the show today. Don't forget, tomorrow the big debate is taking place, right? On Omili. Scan the QR code or download it in the app right now. Lee versus Cecil. If you don't win this, come on. If you don't win,
I'll tell you what.
Pressure's on. You got to win.
His ball knowledge for he ain't a bad player. You see his goal that he scored in a week, like you've seen that on Instagram.
I ain't seen it. No, I'm surprised he didn't show me.
It's a good goal. It's a good strike.
He's actually good footballer.
He's a good footballer, but his knowledge. His knowledge.
I mean, in the car when we're going up to away games,
he don't want to play.
We play the games. He's out first round.
He's out. He pretends to be on his phone. I don't want to play. You know what I mean?
He does do that. You know what? You're right. He does that. He pretends to be on his phone saying he don't want to play, but then when he knows an answer, he'll give it.
Yeah. What colour are Arsenal playing in? Red and white.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, but his ball knowledge isn't.
Then if you lose that debate,
if I lose that debate, like, you know what,
you're in big trouble. Well, it's on Omili tomorrow. Download the app right now. Scan the QR code. It's free. Do it right now. Get involved. It's brilliant. You can debate. Listen to it in audio. It could be, even if you're on work, you're on the move. Listen to it. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Big debate. Cecil and Lee judges discussing a big talking point around Arsenal. So make sure you get involved. I want to thank both of you guys. Thanks you very much, Lee. Julian, well done. Congratulations. Hopefully you make it to Sunday.
I'll make it Sunday.
Right, you got any biscuits there, Ryan?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Liz, you've done well. You've done well. You're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I've broken the addiction. But
I
mean, 14 days, I know I can do. it's now going to be a lifetime. It's not just about 14 days. It's about
a lifetime of eating no food?
Not eating no food, but it's about moderation. It's about cutting out stuff that's not good for me.
Hey, by the way, guys, check out. I did a video with a doctor, Dr. Andre, who's who did Mikel Arteta's medical when he was at Everton, because he used to be the doctor at Everton. He did Mikel Arteta's medical when he joined Everton. Brilliant video. He's been getting a fantastic response. He breaks down like ACL injuries and hamstring injuries. It's so good. So the way he does it as well is so that we really, for me, who got no medical experience, I really understood everything he said. So make sure you check that video out. It's really, really good. But thanks for watching the show today. We will be back next week with another Invincible podcast. Remember, you can download it on all your normal formats, whether it be audio, Spotify, wherever. Do it right now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Welcome along to another edition of the A-List. When we bring in the A-listers in the building, we've got Ian Stone, known for one of our best presenters, on presenting on BT Sport, presenting for Arsenal, numerous podcasts as well, all around football.
When I started watching football in the 70s, it was violent. Chased 3 miles back to Lime Street Station wearing a sheepskin coat because these scousers want to nip my coat. I lost about a stone in weight.
We got a guy who comes on the channel called Julian.
Yeah.
Who claims he used to play in that.
Julian. I know Julian.
Do you remember him from playing football? He told us he was some great footballer in this Maccabi league. Yeah. Right? But we've got nothing to evidence it against.
And you know what? I never saw a great footballer in the Maccabi league. I can tell you that now.
The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.